good night outside in the mirror. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made earlier today. I have not watched it. I watch a bit of Raw every night. I watch a good 50 minutes of Raw every night's show yesterday about Star Trek. I'm not really a big Star Trek fan, right? Yeah. I bought gummies. I eat junk food. I know this week's my week I get junk food. Tomorrow I'm gonna get slices again. I'm probably gonna get slices again. Sunday too. Obviously. Well, I have enough till 2 Sundays from now when I get paid. But I might get my welfare check in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I'm moving forward my application process for welfare get back right. This is my favorite brand, Jolly Rancher gummies. Yeah, they're so good. What's your favorite gummies, Ivan? Jolly Ranchers is number 1 for me. And number 2 is probably Twizzlers. Twizzlers are pretty much just as good as Jolly Ranchers. And the third one, probably the watermelon one. But Jolly Ranchers is probably my favorite. Next week, I'm going to start fresh. I'm only going to eat food at night once a week. And I'm going to start going on the treadmill around 4. And I'll go swimming around go on the treadmill around 4. I'll go swimming around 7:38. You're not going to swim today, Ivan? Nah, I don't feel like going to swim today. I was going to go and I decided to just walk to the store and get my gummies and another pack of smokes. I didn't feel like going to swim today. Yeah. They're so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I showed you for their unique. Yeah, Ivan, the story's progressing. I know. That's a great start to your story, Ivan. I know. There's some scenes that are not as entertaining as others, but they're entertaining enough to keep you turning the page. You want to know more. As long as you're hooked and you want to know more, then I'm doing my job, obviously, right? Yeah. What do you eat for supper, the Ivan? Chicken with salad. But I'll eat the chicken and salad before I go to bed. I don't feel like eating it right now. I'll eat it before I go to bed. The chicken and salad, right? So you're driving? Yeah, I have 2 beers left. Yeah. I'll drink my beer after I finish this video. This video won't be long. It'll be a 50-minute video. You don't do long videos anymore. Yeah, I don't feel like talking for an hour and 40 minutes, guys. It's fucking a lot of work. I don't get paid for this shit. There we go. That's why I'm gonna keep saying you better enjoy this Sabotage channel while you still can. So I'm king. I'm not making you listen for zero. I'm being serious. I'm not gonna have you guys do like that, man. Where I don't get paid. You made me pay a price to be my wife, and you expect me to make videos for you, and I don't get paid for it. You act like I watch myself, and you make fun of the mess behind my back. I'm not gonna let you guys get your full cake, man. When I'm poor, I make videos for you. When I'm king, I forget about this channel. I don't make shit for you. As VJ will forget about her old life in Hollywood. And she'll tell me, yeah, Ivan. She'll tell me, Ivan, why the fuck would you make videos for the world and have them do us like that? We don't get paid for this shit, Ivan. It's a Sabotage channel. We're not getting paid for this. They act like we watch ourselves, Ivan. I know. That's why I'm not making any videos for you when I'm king. Okay, deserve no hands. And I'm gonna forget about this channel. Now that I'm a movie star for Xanus with VJ on Peach on magazines, I'm trending with her every day with hundreds of videos and pictures. That's much better than this Sabotage channel, guys. Yeah, Ivan, even you guys will forget my Sabotage. Yeah, Ivan, we're gonna forget about it. Yeah, you will. But you guys will be tuning into the trends too, obviously. The whole world's tuning into the trends. It's crazy, yeah. That's why VJ cries out, because she doesn't want to miss out on that life when you're king, obviously. Because wherever me and VJ go and wherever we walk, it's crazy, man. Like you have like hundreds of people taking videos and pictures of us everywhere we go, man. And a lot of that's trying on next, and the whole world's tuning into that. It's in the drug. Once you fall on top of the world, and we're living the multi-billion life too. And we're also movie stars now. We're living the life. I want to forget about this channel, man. Amen. Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. I do think you go book touring for Xanus and They're Unique. Well, if I write They're Unique, I will go book touring for both books. I'm gonna want to interview about my two books. If I write They're Unique, if I don't write They're Unique, I don't finish They're Unique, I'll go book touring for Xanus, obviously, most likely. Because I'm gonna have my email information in my book. Obviously, why not your cell phone information? I'm not giving up my cell phone information in my book. No, email information. So if people want to interview me, which they will want to interview me, because Xanus is the greatest man I've ever written, they can email me. I might go on a book tour all over the world too, perhaps. But the book tour will not be as crazy as the movie world tour. Because the movie world tour, I'm going touring with the famous Hollywood actors, right? And I brought the world to life, every number of devils. That's crazier than even my book tour, obviously. The book tour is just me. They're just interviewing me, and VJ will be behind the stage, or she'll be watching the islands. I don't know. Sarah? Yeah. Or I might not go book touring, but for the movie, I'm guaranteed. There's no way I'm not going to go book touring for the movie. Yeah, me and VJ are working on the movie. Our secretaries like Ivan, VJ. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people around the world want to interview you guys. They want to interview you and the actors. How much places? I don't know, like 80 places. That's crazy. Are they charging the fans? Yeah, they're charging fans. Yeah, tell them to charge the fans $80 minimum, which they most likely will. The guys need to make profit. They're going to charge you guys probably a lot of money, maybe $80 for a 1.5 hour interview, obviously. But it's Ivan O'Mara and Victoria Justice speaking, worth the money, and the Hollywood actors too. But me and VJ will be the main show, not the Hollywood actors. Don't hate him, said, yeah. Sarah? Yeah. That's why Peter Jackson's like, all right, man, can I get asked like $10 million of that for the speaking? I'm like, no, Peter, you get an equal amount of the actors. I man, I deserve a bit more of this side. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying you like $10-12 million. No. Equal amount of the actors. You make $5 million in speaking, Peter, that's a lot of money. This is more than what you make in Hollywood. Yeah, in Hollywood, I make like my 100K. Yeah, for Comic Con, the actors get like 50, 75K, 100, 150,000 for Comic Con, the actors. Whereas for my company, it's millions of dollars, man, in speaking. And that's just speaking alone. That excludes their other contracts, right? You know. That's why they're gonna beg, obviously. All those Xanus stars. After they do Xanus, they're gonna beg, man, because they had a blast, man. Training with me, part of the main world buzz with me for that movie. They're not gonna want to go back home. They're gonna want to work for me, obviously. But you're not good for the grace if you can't raise them. Keep saying that. You're not good. There you go. What movie are you the most excited for out of your 5 movies? Xanus, man. Because Xanus is a masterpiece, and everything we're gonna be devils and teammates, man. I'm also excited for The Great Escape too, but I'm mainly hyped about Xanus, man. Xanus is the most work, but once the dirty work is done, man, it's worth it, man. You're looking at an amazing movie. Yeah, people will tell me, yeah, you're looking at the better movie trilogy, My Lord of the Rings. Mel Gibson will tell me, yeah, Ivan, this will be better than my Passion of the Christ, Ivan. Like, yeah, Ivan, you think those demons in Passion of the Christ were scary? These guys are gonna be like the most horrific demonic beings in ever movie history. Yeah, because I'm putting $3 billion towards my movie for Xanus, obviously. $1 billion per volume, and 600 million towards special effects and visual effects per volume, man. Like Hollywood peaks at maybe 100 million, 80 million in visual effects. For Avatar, they probably put maybe 100 million towards that, around there, and the world was amazing. He was like, Ivan, for Lord of the Rings, you put like 35 million towards visual effects, Ivan. And the Helm's Deep War was amazing. Yeah, you're putting $600 towards visual effects per volume. Yeah, he's like, Ivan, you're looking at a beautiful world. You're looking at, yeah. I'm going to tell the visual effects team, I want all the $600 million going towards the three things mainly. The world building, make it look as beautiful as possible, the battle scenes, and the horror of the demonic beings. Okay, Ivan, like, burn all this money, just put it mainly towards that. And the extras too. It doesn't hurt to put a little bit of money towards the extras too for the fighting scenes. Oh, guys, you're saying, yeah, we get better fighting in the background, right? Guys, I want pretty good fighting in the background with the extras, right? When the focus is when the camera's focused on the main Hollywood actors fighting, I want the background to look pretty good. The background fighting, because I know it's in movies, and you guys don't talk about. Yeah, I don't talk about, man. In movies, what they do is they focus on the main actor. When you look closely behind the scenes, the fighting is cheesy fighting, because they don't put that much money towards visual effects towards that. They don't have the kind of budgets I have to. Don't forget that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, you're crazy, man. You think Zane's will be better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings? Yes, guys, you're looking at a better movie trilogy than Lord of the Rings. It's a more powerful, deeper story. It won't be much better, but it'll be the better movie trilogy, man. I know what I'm talking about, my guys. You'll see what I mean when you read my book. You guys already read a section of my book. Volume 1, you have the light behind the walls. Tactius and Tacitonians don't know what's outside the walls. Imagine a scene like that. Like, do you ever wonder what's beyond those walls? And you know beyond those walls in the south, the devil wolves live there. When they're demons. So I'm going to say, and Maramis and Cassius have to keep that from them, from the two kids. As they made a promise to Queen Sarah. Make no mention of the devil wolves of the children, obviously. When they're kids. And she talks about, yeah, give him the gift when he's ready. And Tactius gets his sword when he's an 8-year-old kid. But an amazing movie, obviously. And in Volume 2, you have the drama. You have Tactius being in the dungeon, and you have the huge exodus like Prince of Egypt, and you have something like Helm's Deep with Eratan, and it's like 20,000 army. Think something like Helm's Deep in Two Towers when Saruman gives a speech to war. Remember that? March to Helm's Deep. Leave none alive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're looking at an amazing movie. Peter's Ivan, you're looking at an amazing movie. And in Volume 3, it gets even darker and deeper, man. With Tactius' character arc. And you have the cavern scene with the devils in there, like Moria. You're looking at a masterpiece, man. Peter's like, yeah, I mean, looking at a movie better than My Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter's better than Lord of the Rings. You have the demon faces in the sky. You have a scene when the crowd praises Tactius, as you guys read. Obviously, what's that theme in the sky? I don't want to spoil the story. Assume when you read the book. They're praising Tactius, the people of Saphius, when Tactius gives a speech to the hostile crowd. Are you really the son of God, the son of world? What I am. And while they're praising him, a demonic face appears and stares at Tactius for a quick second. And that leads into the dark episode of Tactius' life, man. Peter's like, yeah, Peter's like, yeah, Peter's like, Ivan, the crowd's cheering him on, kind of like Jesus when he rides on the donkey. Samuel's talking about, yeah, I know what you're talking about in movies when Jesus rides on the donkey and they sing Hosanna to the King of the Jews, whoever it is, right? I'm paraphrasing, I forget that scene in the Gospels, obviously. And then the chief priests are plotting to kill Jesus, and saying, yeah, Who's Ivan? Looking at our Matthews, man, they're praising Tactius, and the demonic face is staring at Tactius. He doesn't like Tactius. Yeah. For a quick second. So I'm going to tell the visual effects team, have the demon faces appear for a quick second. Like, you can barely see it in the movie. You have to really pay attention to see it in the movie. But you will see the face, the demonic face staring down at Tactius, man. But in the movie, to make it more interesting, you can have it be maybe a few faces staring at Tactius. It's not just in the book. There's one face. In the movie, there's a few more faces. Maybe 5 faces staring at Tactius in the sky, in the southern sky. You also have the faces in the northern sky. Peter's Ivan looking at a masterpiece, man. I know, Peter. Yeah, Ivan. If you want to have have it look really, really good with the face in the sky, you got to put a lot of money towards it. Yeah, Peter. That's why I'm putting a system also towards this movie. That way you can afford whatever you want to do. For the faces in the sky, we can afford it. Yeah. Here's Ivan. This is better than the Rings. I know he's better than the Rings. Ivan, can I get a bit more of that? I'm like, no, Peter. $850 million is enough for the film profit. Stop being greedy, man. Huh? Yeah, gummies are so good. I recommend you guys try Jolly Rancher gummies. You guys have probably seen the commercials on YouTube and everything, and on TV. Best gummies ever. So good. Fattening though. Sugar, right? Yeah. Yeah, but I don't get it. Like, why would the Southerners be shocked that Tactius claims to be the Prince of Xanus? I'll give you my reasons. There's a few reasons. The first reason is that the Northerns barely come to the South. They don't come to the South, and they fear the wolves. They never come to the South because they fear the wolves, and it's dangerous over there with the wild crows and everything, and what? That's number one, obviously. And they just can't believe that the prince of Xanus of the Heavenly Kingdom would come down to the cursed cell. Why the fuck would this guy come down here? It's dangerous. The wolves, you have the demon wolves, you have the crows. This place is a dumpster compared to his kingdom. Why the fuck would this guy come here? Like, what's he doing here? Just like when Jesus came down to earth as a baby, supposedly, no one believed he was God in the flesh. Even though it was prophesied in the Bible, and Jesus claimed to be God and everything, they tried to kill him and they seized him and everything. Yeah, they didn't believe it. Blasphemy. The Southerners think it's blasphemy for the Prince of Xanus, for Tactius to claim to be the Prince of Xanus, because don't forget, he was a random man. He took on a fake identity. So imagine you as a Southern, obviously, who the Northerns who are higher class never come down to the South. It's very rare for a Northern to ever come out. So they don't come. The Northerns never come to the South because they fear the wolves. It's dangerous. It's dangerous too, and they don't care about the South and the Southerns. They have their beautiful heavenly kingdom. So it's shocking for a random Northern to come to the South, let alone the Prince of Xanus. They can't believe it. And Tactius took on a fake identity. He claimed to be Colonius the farmer boy, and now he claims to be the prince. They just don't believe it. So Sarah, that's why when you read in those scenes, you always get that reaction like that cannot be. Why would a northern come here? That perplexes me. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck is this guy doing here? What are you doing here? Like you're the prince of the heavenly kingdom in the north. What are you doing here? Like what is this guy doing here? They're shocked. They can't believe it because the northerns never come to the south. It's very rare. Ivan, how many times have the northerns been to the south in the 1,000 year history? Well, I don't explain it in the book, but very few times. Maybe a few people, man. Not that much people. Maybe 10 northerns. 15 northerns maybe have been to the south in like the 1,000 year history. Not many people, man. The Prince of Xanus will never. The prince, the royal family from the south rarely have been to the south. I know Tacius the First has been to the south. Obviously, he's never been to Saphius or Cyrus, but he's been to the mountains. Tacius the First has journeyed to the mountains. You'll get a clue with Ephesus. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but it's very rare for the northerns to come to the south, obviously. Yeah, but Tacius the First did go to the south, and when you read the Ephesus, I won't spoil the story for you. He's been to the mountains in the south, obviously, with Ephesus. I don't want to spoil the story for you. It's very rare, obviously, right? Yeah. Northerners don't care about the south. They don't care about the Southerns. They have their beautiful heavenly kingdom. Why the fuck would they come down here? Yeah. They don't believe it. I'm sorry. Because I am looking at a masterpiece, man. I know. They just can't believe it, obviously. And you get biblical symbols with that with Jesus, too. Sounds like Ivan, I caught that. You know, said he's from the heavenly kingdom. He comes down to the south, which is like the dumpster. Yeah, Jesus came from the heavens in glory with the Father and the Holy Spirit. He came down to the earth, which is a dumpster compared to the heavens, obviously. And he humbled himself, and he took upon the form of a servant, just like Tacius humbled himself. Even though he's a cocky, arrogant prince, he took on the form of a servant too. He claimed to be Colonius, a farmer, and he worked for Eli, obviously. But even though he took on the form of a servant, he's still the prince. He's still the prince of Xanus. He's royal blood. And when he claims to be the prince, no one in Saphius believes it, obviously. Obviously. Because he claimed to be a farmer boy. And all of a sudden now he claims to be the prince. They can't believe it. It's like blasphemy. They can't believe it, obviously. That's why my book is sick, obviously. Your book is sick right now. It's a masterpiece, man. And, yeah, but even that scene when Job was like, I am, but you were the one that fetched his scheming, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Weren't they convinced when they said, what if he really is the prince? We could have done wrong, you know what I'm saying? In that scene. Yeah, they're saying, look, man, like, we don't believe he's a prince, but if he is the prince, we're going to be in big trouble, obviously. They fear, the Southerns have a fear of the Northerns, and that leads into the scene with Job, obviously. In 2 chapters later, I mean, that's funny, I know, with Job and Cassius, obviously. Job, I take it you had a horse to take care of. Yeah, they're all for drivers. I'm pretty sure that. What about that? That's funny, I know. That scene gets me every time. I laugh my ass off, man. That is so funny. That's funny, I know. Job, I take it you had a horses taken care of? Yes, there are welfare drivers. I'm pretty sure that. What about that? From a Salvin as well. That's funny, I know. Obviously. I'm sorry. Yeah. So if Tacitonius and Cassius didn't arrive to Saphius, Tacitus would have been fucked. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he would have been fucked, man. If his cousins didn't come, man. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Does Cassius and Tacitonians have authority over Eli? Yes, they do. They're Northerns from the royal family, man. They have authority even over Eli. You'll see what I mean when you read the rest of that passage that you guys read. Yes, let's. That man you locked in the dungeon is my cousin, the royal heir of Xanus. I knew it to be true. My name is Lithia. Silence, Dar. Yeah, when you keep reading that section, I won't spoil the story. That's the big scene there. That's one of my big scenes. Yes, I showed you a snippet of the big scene, but if you keep reading, there's another. The drama continues, but I didn't show you that part because I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Tacitonians and Cassius have authority over Eli because they're the royal family, obviously. That's why when they arrived to Eli's court, I said Eli was shocked. He's like, "Are these guys Northerns? What are they doing here?" And when they said that Tacchius is my cousin, they were a bit taken back. Obviously, fuck, man. Like, well, if Tacchius really is the prince, and Cassius really had to really convince Eli to release Tacchius. I won't spoil the story for you. Obviously. But Tacchius being thrown in the dungeon humbles him. He's now a humbled man. He's humble and he changes. He changes, obviously. As you guys read in the scene when Cassius can't sleep, Tacchius now has a more of a care for the Southerns, obviously, and he saves them from the devil wolves. Obviously, that's what we're looking at masterpiece, man. Yeah, just like Jesus came down from the heaven to earth to save those who believe in him from the devils in hell. Well, you kind of get some symbols there with Xanus. Sounds alive, and I caught that. Yeah, a lot of biblical symbols in Xanus, obviously, when you read it. Not a Bible story, but you can catch biblical symbols in there when you read it. Just like Lord of the Rings has a lot of Catholic symbolism too, because J.R.R. Tolkien was a Catholic. C.S. Lewis was Catholic, so you do get a lot of symbolism, biblical symbolism too, when you read those books. Especially Narnia. Narnia is in your face biblical symbolism. Yeah, even it is. Yeah, with Aslan, like Jesus, he dies for Edmund. The White Witch symbolization of the devil, yeah. You guys see what I'm saying? Yeah, I was just saying, yeah. Even though Narnia is not a Bible story, you get a lot of biblical symbolism. Like, the last battle has a lot of end-time symbolism with the Antichrist. You have Shift the Ape. All you guys who read Last Battle, you have the beginning of the book, you have Shift the Ape. He's in the pool, obviously, and then there's the donkey. What's the donkey's name again in Last Battle? I forget his name. Puzzle? Yeah, the donkey's name was Puzzle, I think. I might be wrong there. Puzzle. And there's a lion skin that on the pool, and Shift tells the donkey, even though the donkey's reluctant to wear the fake lion skin, they put the lion skin on him, and he tells everyone to bow down to that lion, and that lion's Aslan. But he's a false Aslan, just like you have the false Christ, the Antichrist. You get the symbolism in Narnia. All you fantasy nerds all talk about, yeah, we know that. You have the symbolism there in Narnia too, obviously. Narnia's in your face biblical symbolism, right? Even more than my book. And Lord of the Rings and Xanus is not in your face. Well, no, Xanus Volume 3, you'll see what I mean when you read it, when Tacchius is in agony, that's all I'm going to say. You do get some biblical symbolism with Jesus, obviously, in Volume 3. But I mean, Narnia is like in your face biblical symbolism. It's crazy, man. A lot of biblical symbolism in Narnia, right? Yeah. Some Sire. And why is Tacchius in agony? That I can't tell you. You'll find out what I mean when you read the book. I won't spoil it. All I'm going to say that he is in agony in Volume 3. And it's a dark episode of his life, obviously. And some of his Southern friends and family members are crying for him, man. That's how deep it gets. So obviously, I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. Because in Passion of the Christ, when Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus, when Jesus was in agony, his disciples were not crying for him, right? Well, for Xanus, it's even deeper than that. Like, Tacchius is in deep agony, he's sweating, he's in deep agony, and Eretat, I don't want to spoil the story for you, and some of his family and Southern friends are crying. The women are crying. Yeah, they're crying. Yeah, that's why Volume 3 is my favorite because it's cinema on the page, man. You'll see when you read it, the big scenes. The big scenes in Volume 3 is cinema, man. It's cinema on the page. The characters, Ephesus jumps on the page. It's like why? It's like really reading a movie. Ephesus jumps out on the page like crazy. Think something like I don't know, kind of like the Witch King of Agma. When you read it, you get that vibe from Ephesus when he speaks and everything. Yeah, and then the ancestors too. When the ancestors speak, it feels like it's like a wondrous speech. It's like cinema on the page, man. That's why Xanus cannot be beat. You can't beat that, man. It's too good. Too good, man. Xanus is a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. That's why Volume 3 is my favorite. Now, I think, I could be wrong. Maybe most fans will like Volume 3 the best. Because Volume 3 is when it gets dark. It's horror. It's horror, obviously. And what? It's horrific. And it gets deep and dark. Shit gets real in Volume 3, man. That's why I enjoy Volume 3. Because I want to spoil a story for you guys. It's a masterpiece. That's why I say it's money, man. It's a masterpiece, man. That's why I'll never let any development era touch my story. Look, man. It's not about my ego. It's about my passion for my art. I wrote a masterpiece. I don't want anyone touching this story because you can ruin my story, man. Yeah, man. Ivan, what are your best scenes in the book? For Volume 3, for the book, yeah. If you think the big scenes I showed you guys, all I'm gonna say is if you think the big scenes I showed you guys for Volume 1 and 2 are epic cinema, even those scenes are pretty cinematic. Nothing compared to the big scenes in Volume 3. The Ephesus scene, the ancestor scene in Volume 3, and the beginning of the war when Tachys is giving his speech. That's pure cinema on the page. It's cinema. And the scene leading up, and the scene when Tachys is in agony, it's cinema, man. It's cinema on the page, man. Like it's like reading a movie. I'm not lying, guys. It's like reading a movie, man. Like you're reading the book, but it's like you're reading a movie, man. It's so cinematic. It's a masterpiece, man. It's so good. I read it yesterday at nighttime before I went to bed. Before I was about to go to bed, right? I read it and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is fucking amazing. Yeah, it's cinema, man. The Ephesus scene, the ancestor scene. The ancestor scene in Volume 3, the Ephesus scene, obviously, and the agony scene when Tachys is in agony, that's all cinema. And there's other big scenes too, but those scenes are not like the big ones. The big scenes in Volume 3 are the Ephesus scene. You'll certainly read my book, guys. The ancestor scene, and also the war, the speech Tachys gives in the war. It's cinema, man. Cinema on the page. Whereby you're just like, holy shit, man. This is sick, man. Ivan wrote a masterpiece. And all those big cinematic scenes, that's before the already highly entertaining Volume 1 and 2 you already read, right? So you have the entertainment of Volume 1, you're hooked. Volume 2, you're hooked, as you guys read. And you have like the crazy shit going on in Volume 3. And you have those cinematic scenes, man, in Volume 3. And that's why Xanus cannot be beat. You can't beat that. And it'll be the greatest fans ever read, man. No author will be able to beat that book, man. And it will be a public embarrassment in the industry. Because no author has scenes like that are cinematic like that. Whereby it feels like you're reading a movie. Obviously, the Ephesus scene and the ancestor scene and the agony scene feels like you're reading a movie. I'm not lying, guys. You'll see what I mean when you read Volume 3, man. It's a masterpiece, man. As I heard, it's like, yeah, I mean, this is gonna be better than my Lord of the Rings. I know, Peter. Ivan, you're a genius, man. How the heck did you learn how to write like that, Ivan? This is better than J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know he's very Lord of the Rings. Ivan, seriously, man. I enjoyed rewarding J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Ivan, Tachys has a better character arc than even Aragorn and Frodo, Ivan. Yeah, man. If you think Frodo and Aragorn had amazing character arcs in the book, and the movie's not really like the books, right? If you think Aragorn and Frodo had a great character arc in Return of the King, like Tachys' character arc is better than that, man. It's better than even those guys. I mean, some sour. Ivan, is your character work in Xanus good? Yes, my character work in Xanus is good. But I told you, Xanus is more plot driven than it is. I focus more on the plot in Xanus than the character development. But the characters are developed well in Xanus. They're great characters. But Xanus is clearly more plot driven than character driven, obviously. Because it's an epic fantasy commercial story. Epic fantasy commercial stories are usually more plot driven than they are character driven. But Takius does have an amazing arc. Eretad has an amazing arc when you read it. You'll see I'm going to read the book. I almost spoil story for you. Eretad is not developed that well in the first 2 volumes, but I develop him better in volume 3. He has a better character arc. He has an amazing character arc too, Eretad in volume 3. I almost spoil story for you. And for Full too. For Full's not developed as well as Eretad, but he's pretty well developed for Full. I almost spoil story for you. Don't hear him say, yeah. Is you sire? Yeah. Almost there, guys. I'll talk for 50 minutes. That's good enough. Ivan, is your Xanus book scarier than Stephen King's books? Volume 3? Yeah, Volume 3 is just as scary as Stephen King's horror novels. Well, Volume 3 is horror, man. It's horror. When you read it, I almost pull a sword for you. Volume 3 is freaky shit, man. You'll see what I mean when you read the scene when they go into the caverns, like more, that's creepy. And Eretad is creepy, you know what I'm saying? And you have the ancestors, I almost pull a sword for you, man. Xanus is horror, man, when you read it. Volume 3. Even Volume 1 and 2, there is a bit of horror in it with the landmarkings and everything, but Volume 3 is when it gets dark and it's horror. It becomes horror. It gets horrific and dark. It's a dark episode of Takius' life, obviously. I don't want to spoil story for you. And I gave you the hints with the demonic faces staring at him, right? Like right before when the Safians were giving Takius praise, there's a demon face staring at Takius, and that gives you a hint of how dark the story gets in Volume 3. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because I don't want to spoil the story if you don't hear him say, yeah. Yeah, man. I'm saying, oh, Ivan, show us Volume B. No, guys. You're paying for my book. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Ivan, from what we've read, we now understand why the gatekeepers want to control your brand. Your book is a massive. That's money, man. Yeah, Xanus is money. Fucking money, man. Yeah. Yeah. My book is so good that all you fans who love Harry Potter, who love Lord of the Rings, who love Game of Thrones, even though you guys love those books, you're gonna love my book more because my book is the better novel. Well, at least most of you guys will love it more because there might be some fans, some haters out there. Ivan's book was a bit raw. I like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Yeah, if you like those books better, I understand. Art hits everyone different ways. But the majority of the fans will say, yeah, Ivan Zane's book is the best fans ever written. He set the standard and he kind of ruined fantasy for me. Because every book I read after I read Ivan Zane's book is a letdown, man. It is. It's a letdown. As I had that same feeling after reading Xanus 5 times. I read my book and I read the other books, I just don't get the same feeling, man. It feels more regular and dry, man. I don't mean to be an asshole, that's just how I feel personally, right? Yeah. That's why I've been bragging to you guys for years that Xanus is number 1. Because I knew, man, I read it, I'm like, yeah, I read that and I was reading Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is amazing, but I get 2 different feelings. My book feels more unique and fresh, the characters on a page. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, but it feels more dry. Like these other books feel more regular, right? Oh, yeah, they feel more normal and regular, obviously. That's why I told you all the fantasy authors like Brandon Sanderson, George R. Martin, and all them, and J.K. Rowling are gonna feel like shit when I release my book because my book is better than their books, obviously. It's better than their books, obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah. You think Bradley Durfee will love your book? Oh yeah, if he Bradley Durfee's favorite fantasy book is Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, and I read Lord of the Rings, a masterpiece, but a bit boring, obviously for me personally. I did not read Game of Thrones ever, but for what I read from the prologue, Game of Thrones is amazing, obviously. I read a bit of it. Holy shit, man, this is entertaining shit. I read a good I don't know paragraph, about a paragraph of the prologue, because you can find chapter samples online of Game of Thrones to read. I read a little bit of it, and it was very entertaining when I read it. But it's not Xanus. Xanus is better. But I mean, there are some fans who will say who will think Game of Thrones is better, obviously, because art hits everyone different ways. Some Sarah, yeah. Yo, Ivan's book is number 3. I like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones better. Xanus is number 3. Yeah, if Xanus, if you weren't satisfied with Xanus, what I've showed you, and you like these other books better, I understand, man. Art hits everyone different ways. I'm not going to judge you for it, right? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. There we go. That's what I'm saying, yeah. So you're saying Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings has better rolling than your book? In terms of the in depthness and the richness of the worlding, it surpasses my book, obviously. As Game of Thrones, you have the Seven Kingdoms, obviously. Lord of the Rings, you have a bunch of different kingdoms, obviously. Like as Gilead, you have Mordor, you have Rivendell, you have the Shire. You know what I'm saying? You have Gondor, you have Rohan, you have Bree. Way more lands in my book, even more than Game of Thrones. It's richer in that sense. But my worlding, I think, is more unique, and my story and my characters are better, and my story is higher quality because it's in terms of entertainment. It's more entertaining. It's a more entertaining read. And the end of the day, it comes with entertainment. If you entertain the reader more, then you wrote the better book. Because my book is more simple than Lord of the Rings. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. Ivan, Zayn is a simple story. It's simple to understand, but if you don't pay attention, it's Xanus is also a little bit complex too when you get into volume 3 with the plot. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but you have to really pay careful attention when you read the book, man. Otherwise, you might miss some information. You have to really pay careful attention. So when I get into volume 3, that's when the plot gets a bit more complex with Ephesus and Eritad and the answers. You have to really pay careful attention to the plot. And once you pay careful attention to the plot, like holy shit, man. Ivan's story is a simple story, but it's a little bit complex when you read volume 3. This is a masterpiece, man. This plot blows your mind away. Yeah, it blows your mind away, man, when you read it. You're just blown away by the plot, man. It's cinema off the page, man. Yeah. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. You'll see it you'll see what I mean when you read my book, man. I won't spoil it. Yeah. Okay, I can show you one just a paragraph of when Tactius and Tacitonius get into a fight with the kids. I'm not going to show you the fighting scenes. I won't spoil the story, but I can show you the scene leading up to it. And that's it, guys. It's just like a paragraph. That way I don't spoil the story for you. I can show you that. When you read that, you're going to be hooked too, obviously. They're jealous of Tacitonius and Tactius. I won't spoil the story. So I'm going to read the book. So I'll show you that scene. And that's it, guys. Just a little paragraph, and that's it. After that, no more. Technically speaking, I'm not really showing you anything. It's only like a little paragraph, right? Excuse the noise. They're watching CFL. They're watching CFL, right? Yeah. That's Dwayne Ford talking. You hear Dwayne Ford talking? Yeah. I'll show you that scene. That's it, guys. I don't want to spoil story for you. Oh, this is their unique. Why am I on their unique? No, Xanus, not their unique. Alrighty, guys. Almost done the video, guys, by the way. I'm waiting for the thing to load. How much pages are you on right now, Ivan? 617 pages. But once it's edited, it'll be like 800 pages. Ready? Take forever to load. Okay. Okay, I'll show you this scene here. Okay, I don't want guys reading this. Okay. Okay, I'll show you this scene here. This leads up to the next scene I want to spoil for you. This is Young Tactius. You can read this. Pause and read that. And then I'll show you this. I read that. And I'll show you. I'll show you this scene here. Pause and read it. Yeah. You read that, and I'll show you this scene here. Okay, you can read that. And that's it. I won't spoil story for you. That's with Tacitonius and Tactus. That's it, guys. No more. Like, I'm being serious. I only showed you a little bit, like about a 3/4 of a page, right? And that's it. And that's it. I won't spoil story for you. When you read that, guys, you're gonna be hooked too. Because my book is sick. Obviously, your book is sick. I know. That's one of my weaker chapters, guys. Young Tactius is not one of my best chapters at all. Is that one of your big scenes, Ivan? Yeah, kind of. It's the fight scene, obviously. I almost spoiled story for you. That's why Peter Jackson, Ivan, man, looking at a sick movie, man. They have a fight scene, yeah. It's a fight scene in the story, obviously. I was saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You and your cousin are spoiled. You and your spoiled cousin, although you are a prince. You know what I'm saying? I'm now sick, I know. I mean not to fight you. Fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. All I'm going to say is that when Tactius and Tacitonius, because they're the royal family, and they're Maramis and Cassie's best students, obviously, the kids who train, the kids who are trained to be members of the Zane army, obviously, they're jealous of Tacitonius and Tactius. Because Maramis and Cassius always talk about how they're their best students, obviously, and they train them at the city's edge, because those guys have to train in the stadium, obviously, as you guys read, obviously, right? But no. Only Prince Tactius and his full cousin get to train at the city's edge. Yeah, they're, show us your, pick your sticks and show us your worth, sire. I mean not to fight you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. obviously. And you also have the faces in the sky. I almost full surf you. That's why I didn't show you the next scene. I almost full surf you right in the northern sky, right? I almost full surf you. You know. Your Zane's book is sick. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece. Everything I show you, you guys hooked. That's not even one of my big scenes in my book, guys. And when you read it, you were hooked. But yeah, we're hooked. Yeah, my book is sick, man. This is a masterpiece. It's funny. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. Almost other guys. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You guys see a masterpiece. Yeah, I mean, like, if you turn it into a movie, I see the masterpiece. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, man. You have a fight scene with young Tacitonius and Tactius when they're kids. So the kid actors who are playing younger John Boyega and younger Ivan O'Mara, you're gonna see them in the movie, man. Like, your book is sick, man. I know, John. My book is sick. I can't wait to be part of that movie. Yeah, well, my story's a masterpiece, John. Better than your Star Wars sequels, right? Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, unless you fight. So I said, yeah, fight, fight, fight. Yeah. I mean, not to fight you, though. I said, yeah. Why Tactius says he doesn't want to cause trouble? Because remember the scene when Tactius, even though Tactius is still an arrogant, stubborn prince, obviously, like I don't want to spoil story for you in the book. You have to keep reading the book to understand. In that scene, the beginning of the story, when Tactius and his boys were causing a ruckus in the brewery, like their mother told them, "You guys can't go around causing trouble." That's why Tactius, he's like, "Look, man, I don't want to fight you, man. I don't want to cause trouble, man." You know what I'm saying? But they're like, fight. We're not, pick your sticks up and show your worth, sire. Because the kids are jealous of Tactius and Tacitonius. That's why they have a fight, obviously. I won't spoil story for you. Your book is sick. I know my book is sick, obviously. Yeah. I'm now sick. I was saying they're jealous of them. Yeah, they are. They're jealous of Tacitonius and Tactius because they're spoiled. They're spoiled kids who live in the castle. All these other guys live in the city sectors, which are beautiful too, but it's not the royal castle. Tacitonius and Tactius live in the royal castle with the royal family. They're part of the royal family. And Aramis and Cassius always talk about how they're their best students, and the kids are jealous of that. And they train them like specifically at the city's edge. Whereas all those other students who are trained to be in the army, they train in the stadium, and they're envious of that. That's why they're like, pick up your sticks and show your worth, sire. And I was saying, yeah, I mean not to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your book is sick. My book is sick. But this is money, man. Yeah, man, it's money. Sick book, man. Almost other guys. Yo, Ivan Xanus is better than their unique. Yeah, it is. Like, when you read their unique and Xanus is clearly the superior novel by a little bit. But their unique is also amazing too. But I haven't finished their unique yet. So we'll see how good it is when I finish it, right? I'll cross my fingers, right? Yeah, I don't even say yeah. Yeah. What do they mean when they talked about the unborn child? Well, Lithius, obviously, Tactius' half sister. That's all I'm gonna say. I won't spoil the story for you. You have to read the chapter to understand that. That's why I didn't show you the previous scene. I won't spoil the story for you. So, why is that one of your most entertaining scenes in your book? No, not at all, man. Not at all. No. Young Tactius is one of my weaker chapters, guys. It's one of my weaker chapters in the book. And when you read it, were you still hooked? Yes, I was so hooked. Yes. That's why my book is sick, obviously. It's a masterpiece, man. Xanus is a great fan novel written on him. So, yeah. But there will be some fantasy fans who like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. Maybe Brian Durfee, maybe Daniel Green, maybe Mike's book reviews. Maybe those guys might still like Game of Thrones. Yeah, Ivan, your book was amazing, but it was a little bit raw. I like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, if you like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, better guys, I understand. If you like Wheel of Time better, and I'm saying Daniel Green, I understand. Those are amazing books too. Art hits everyone different ways. You got some Sarah? Yeah, I'm not going to be cocky and say everyone will like it better. No, they might be quite a bit of fans who like those other books better. Because my book was a little bit raw, obviously, when you read it, obviously, some Sarah. As you guys did catch a bit of stiffness in my writing on my snippets, yeah, we caught a bit of rawness in it, but still fucking entertaining shit. Yes, it is entertaining shit. And no more, guys. Zero. I'm not showing you more. I thought it'd be cool to just show you that one scene, some Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. And when you read that the characters up on the page, yeah, Ivan, they sound like kids. Yeah, how do you do it, Ivan? It's a gift. I don't know how you do it, man. It's a gift. I don't know how you do it. It's a gift. Pick your sticks and show your worth, sire. And I said, Ivan, that was sick. And I was saying, yeah, obviously, yeah. We mean not to fight you, know what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't like Tachys and Tacitonius, obviously, because they're spoiled children who live in the castle, obviously. Imagine applying it onto the screen, man. Here's Ivan. You're looking at a master's man, knows, and they're jealous of them, when they're kids. I'm like, yeah, for Ivan, this is one of the things. I don't feel for the things. This is one of the things. I don't feel for the things. Yeah. So I hope Peter and Mel, you're impressed with my book. We're impressed, man. That's entertaining shit. I did. Yeah, I know. Look at a masterpiece, guys. Want to adapt it to the screen, man. Look at an amazing movie. Yeah. I hope all you fans of Fantasy Red are impressed with my Xanus book. If you don't like it, I understand. Art is everyone different ways. If it's a little bit raw, you don't like it, I understand. But I mean, I'm trying my best, man. I don't hate him. Yeah. I tried my best, right? I did the best I could. All I'm going to say is I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into Xanus. I hope you guys are entertained by what I showed you. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying my best on him. And yeah. Sarah? Yeah. And that's why Xanus is worth the $80. Because it's the best fantasy novel you're ever going to read in your life. But if you don't want to pay $80, it's steep for you. You can pay $22. $22 is expensive for an ebook. Yeah, guys, I have to make profit, man. I need to make profit. Yeah, man. Because Lulu takes 20% of my royalties, man. So I have to make profit, obviously. Yes, I know $22 is a bit expensive for an ebook, as most ebooks are like $7, $10, $5. I need to make profit. That's why I'm selling for $20. But $22 is affordable. You guys can afford that, right? Like that's affordable. Yeah, that's affordable. Yeah, it's affordable. $22 is not expensive. Like, you know, I said I could afford $22 working minimum wage. It's affordable, obviously. Some Sarah. But $80 is a bit expensive. That's why you have ebook options. If you don't want to pay the $80, you can pay $20 and read it on your laptop. But the $80 you're spending, guys, is worth it, man. Like, it's the greatest fantasy novel. It's quality art. It's cinema on the page. It's the greatest fantasy novel written, man. I'm not lying, guys. As you guys read, right? Amazing book, man. Some Sarah. Yeah. Anyways, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys are impressed by what I showed you for their unique. Stay tuned. I'll show you my next snippets more for their unique. And I hope you guys were impressed by what I showed you for Xanus for the last time. Impressed with my snippet. And if you're not impressed, I'm sorry, guys. I tried my best to entertain you. Don't hate me. This is Iron Man. I'm signing off. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out. Xanus.